What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Seasons Change. My name is Desiree if you are new here, and in today's video I want to share with you what I am going to be using in 2026 as it relates to getting my finances in order, keeping them in order, and keeping me focused on financial stability. So let's get into it because I don't want this video to be too long. So number one, as you can see, I have a binder here. I created this binder. All of the sheets, which are over here that I'm going to show you, I created on Canva. Listen, y'all, do not worry. I'm not trying to sell y'all nothing. I don't have no Etsy shop, no Ko-Fi shop. I don't have none of that. That's not me. That's not my thing. You do you. I'm going to do me. But I created this to keep me more focused and to hold myself accountable for making sure I'm tracking every dime that I spend in the year of 2026. This last quarter, or this current quarter, because it is New Year's Eve that I'm filming this, I've noticed I've done a lot of frivolous spending in the last quarter, and there was really no rhyme or reason to it other than I think I just felt that I could do something for myself since I've really been good all year as far as maintaining and making sure I keep ahead of all of my bills and making sure I focus on the things that I needed to focus on first instead of focusing on my wants. And I've been doing that. So I just decided apparently that I wanted to do a little splurge on myself, and I have done that. And now I'm getting ready to rein that in. I will not be spending another dollar until I get paid. Okay. So in this binder is I've had this binder for like 4 years. I got it from Walmart. And as I was going through my cleaning process back in September, when I thought I was going to end up selling my home, I was going through a bunch of stuff and I saw this binder. I was going to toss it. Something was telling me to keep it, mainly because purple is my favorite color. And once I realized that my house was not going to sell, I was going to toss it. And then I was like, yeah, no, don't toss this. You can use this to put all of your financial documents in that you want to keep, like my homeowner's insurance, my car insurance, my supplemental insurance documents, and all of that. So I want to keep that in here. And I also decided to use this to begin dealing with my budget again in a better way than I was doing it before. So all this is just a binder where I'm keeping all of these documents here that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you those real quick, and then we're going to talk about this particular binder here. So first things first, I do have a calendar, a monthly calendar. I don't know what I did with it, but that monthly calendar is pretty much just like everybody else's. You know, you write down your bills when they're due. As you can see, I have this subscription tracker sheet that I created on Canva. This lists all of the subscriptions that I had. I had it in alphabetical order, but then I remembered that I do have AAA membership as well. It is due annually. Most of these are annual bills. I only have 2 that are listed that are monthly, which is Apple and Netflix. I ended up going back to Netflix because during the Black Friday sale, I was looking at Hulu, I was looking at Peacock, I was looking at even Disney Plus and all this other stuff. Y'all, I was not liking the fees. I just wasn't liking any of the stuff. And I'm one of those people, I don't particularly watch TV a lot anyway. It's just on. But I'm like, I know I have watched Netflix before. So I just went back to Netflix and just called it a day. Okay. So my subscriptions are my cameras. I have some video cameras on my house. Canva, Costco, Epidemic Sound, Microsoft 365, which I just did that upgrade today, this morning, for $99.99. And I believe you got up until March 31st, 2026. And then you will have to pay the $199.99 fee. So I just went on ahead and did this one. I got to make sure I watch this for 2027 because they are saying that this will be the last time, but they could change it. They definitely could change it, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. So this was my subscription tracker. Here is my monthly budget planner or monthly budget sheet. This should say sheet. However, I'm trying to get out of this perfectionism thing that my therapist told me a couple years ago that I deal with. And I knew I dealt with it, but, you know, I never heard it told to me in my face. So it's different when somebody tells you to your face. Okay. So when she told me that, I've been working on it ever since. So we're going to act like this just says monthly budget sheet. I'm not going to worry about that. I have used other people's budgeting sheets and other people's budgeting methods, and it just doesn't work for me. I've tried to tweak it to, fit me. It just doesn't work. I need something that's simple and straight to the point, not with all of this, variable expenses over here, debt over here, this over here, that over there. No. Because at the end of the day, even my debts are bills. So I don't want to separate those at all. I want to keep them in line with everything else, because a bill, anything that I have to pay is a bill. Point blank, period. Okay. So here with this monthly budget sheet, you have the income sources listed. It says main income and extra income. Now, I put extra income down because sometimes I do provide administrative services to people. As a matter of fact, in the new year, I'll be working with a nonprofit organization that's attached to my job, where I'm going to be helping them, helping the organization get some things together, because they're going to have a professional conference here in 2027. So we want to get, or they want to get a lot of things in order, and they have asked for my services once again. So I'm going to provide them those services. It's probably going to be somewhere throughout the year that I'm going to be working with them. And yes, they will be paying me. So that will be considered extra income. I'm also a notary public here in the state of Michigan. Although I don't get a lot of money for that, I only get $10 per signature, because that's the max. Unless you're a signing agent, you can do a little bit more. So I did decide that in 2026 that I will start taking that money and adding it to my income when I'm doing my budget, should I get that. Okay. So that's what this is. And then over here is the emergency savings and emergency fund deposit box. I do have an emergency fund, and I also have my own personal savings. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to jot down the deposited amount for the month. I'm just not going to list exactly how much is in the account. I have money that automatically goes to my emergency fund and to this savings fund, and another account automatically every time I get paid. I don't look at it. I don't do nothing. It just goes there, and that's that. Now down here for the monthly expenses, I have mortgage, utilities, which is my gas, lights, water, Wi-Fi. That's all one. I will write the total amount down for all four of those here. Same thing with the mortgage. I will write the amount down for my car insurance for the month, my car payment for the month, and then my debt payments, which I have listed down here as my credit cards, and then MOHELA. Yes, MOHELA is a debt. It is my student loan servicer. However, I'm looking for this MOHELA to be forgiven by the end of 2026. That's why I have separated it out. I do have PSLF. I have been paying on my student loans on time every month for multiple years, and I'm still waiting for them to affix the $638 credit that I have remaining that is supposed to go to my last student loan, which will help reduce the number of payments that I have to make, which will help me get this paid off by the end of 2026. Then we have our variable expenses down here, gas, grocery, subscriptions. As you can see, I have Netflix and Canva down here, but I scratched Canva out because now I have that as an annual subscription, and I will write that down here, add everything up, and then my total expenses for the month will come down here. The next sheet is my bi-weekly budget sheet, and this is where I break it down even further. So with the first paycheck of January, I will list all of the bills that I will be paying with the first paycheck. I will write down the budget amount. I will write down the actual amount as well as the account balances. Now, again, I will not be writing down the account balances for my student loans, my car payment, or my credit cards, or the mortgage. But my water bill, gas, light bill, what I spend on groceries, whatever the case may be, I don't have a problem putting that down. Then at the bottom, you see it says budget and income, of course, minus the actual total expenses, gives me the remaining income I have from what I have budgeted for my bills for that particular paycheck. This is where the truth begins to show itself. I'm going to implement an expense tracker. I know many of you already do that, but this will be my second time trying to do this, but my goal is to stick with it. So I'm going to start this in January, and I'm going to write down all of my expenses, including my bills, and any expense that is not necessary, not needed, or not required will be highlighted in orange. And then that will show me my true financial stability, my true financial hiccup, whatever you want to call it, to see where I need to arrest whatever the problem is, if there is a problem, and try to correct it. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to see the bigger picture overall. I'm not ashamed to say I may need 2 sheets of paper with the first month. I don't know, or with every single month. I really do not know, because I typically do not do what I just did this past quarter or this current quarter. I have never done that, and yet and still I did it. So now I got to see, is it just because I was, I did what I was supposed to do throughout the entire year, and now it's my time to go ahead on and spoil me? We will see. The next sheet is my debt payoff tracker sheet. This is where I'm going to be focused on paying down and paying off the debt that I owe for my Citi credit card. I'm going to get the balance when I get my new statement, write the balance down, the minimum payment, and every time I make a payment, I'm going to write the date down and the payment amount, but I won't do the balance because I will do an updated debt confession at the end of the first quarter on this card right here. I will also include the Discover card in that updated debt confession as well. The only difference is you will definitely see the balances from this card here. You just won't see the one for Citi. And this is a sheet that I will travel month to month with until this until the last line is used up, and then I will do the next sheet. These last 2 sheets are pretty much the same but different. This one is my bill payment year at a glance sheet, and this one is my debt payment year at a glance sheet. Now, what I'm going to be doing with these 2 sheets, of course, is listing the due dates for all of my bills and all of my debt payments. I'm going to list the bill or the debt, and then at the end of 2026, I'm going to list down the total paid for each bill or each debt. But as every month goes by, I will indicate with like a dot using a Sharpie or something like that to indicate that I did pay that bill that particular month from January to December. And I got this inspiration from Budget Treasures. So I just want to see exactly how much I pay every year on my gas bill, water bill, things of that sort. And I know we can go on the website and look at the bill analyzer and see what's what, but the bill analyzer versus what I actually pay are 2 different things. Okay, so that's it on that. Let me get to the binder. So like many of you, I had multiple binders for various reasons. And I wanted to be like a lot of you and have all these multiple binders and these multiple sinking funds. And I stretched myself extremely thin to the point where a lot of the sinking funds I had, I was getting rid of those sinking funds and using the money that I saved and padding other sinking funds that I was really, really trying to focus on building. So it didn't make sense for me to continue down that road. I had to realize that I needed to focus on at least 4, no more than 5 sinking funds at a time. So all of the binders that I had like this, I got rid of except this one and this one. So I only have 2 binders, but we are only using this one because this binder is what I'm going to put the money in that I save from here for certain sinking funds. I'm going to put it in here until I'm ready to deposit it and use it. So I only have 4 sinking funds in here, and I'm going to show you what those 4 are. The first one is Christmas. You see it says Christmas $400. My minimum goal is to save $400 for Christmas for 2026. My maximum is to save $800 for Christmas for 2026. Once I reach whether, I'm going to try to reach the $800, but once I reach the $800, then this will come out and I will put another envelope in its place to save for something else. This is for Mint Mobile. This is my cell phone company, or my cell phone service provider. I have already paid for the year for 2026. I am working on paying for 2027. Once I get up to the 300, I prefer to save $390, then this will come out and I will put another envelope in here to begin saving for something else. This is a general savings, but I believe I'm just going to use this to help me pay down and pay off my credit card debt. So right now I have like $435 saved in here. I don't know when, but when the spirit tells me to go ahead on and take this money and deposit it and pay the bill, I will do so. So it could be when it get to $500, $600, $800, $1,000, whatever the case may be. The last envelope is for Vashti. Vashti is my car, and I am thinking of saving $1,200 to $1,500 for Vashti for the year 2026. And the biggest portion of that money is going to go towards me getting a set of tires, brand new tires for my car. I have not had to change my tires on my car since I got it. However, with my last oil change, I did have to get a plug put in on my tire. And baby, I don't do no more than one plug. Okay. There have been times where I was forced to do two, but I normally don't do no more than one plug. So I am diligently saving to get that money saved up so I can get my car some brand new shoes. Or I'm sorry, brand new shoes. I guess you can say that. But this envelope will always stay here because it's a car. We all know. But other than that, these three envelopes can, not these three, these two envelopes can and will be changed out periodically. Once I reach the amount that I need to reach, then they will come out, and I will put two more empty envelopes in to save for some other things. I.e., one of the things I want to save for is a brand new computer. So that's it. Just those 4 sinking funds, just these few budget sheets, and nothing else. I'm not tracking, savings challenges. I'm not tracking a million different sinking funds. I just can't do that. My brain cannot handle that. My brain will not tolerate that. I am getting too old to be trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing. I only have the ability to focus on what Desiree can do. And that's what I am going to be working on in 2026. Focusing on what Desiree can do. And that's it. Again, you guys, have a happy and safe new year. Happy birthday, Clarissa. And I will see you all. It sounds like they stopped with the firecrackers, and I'm hoping it stops snowing. I will see you all in the new year. You take care. Bye.